Robin, this is one that always customers like to see, our infection prevention when they come through.
Great.
So we always know we're going to be entering a soiled linen area where universal precautions are being followed.
Very
So
good.
we always offer PPE, etc.
And I can really feel a difference in airflow
Yeah.
as we were walking. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So that's our air handling system. So negative airflow. So we want to pull air in on the clean side of the facility and move that air across into the soiled area. So as opposed to moving air from the soiled to the clean for more of an environmental contamination consideration.
Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
As soiled linen comes in here, and then describe that process to me, how
Sure.
that works.
Yeah, so this is the only two docks where soiled linen will be unloaded and brought in the facility. And from there it's staged over here in our cart corral, as it's referred to. Kind of staged in order by customer so that individual customers can be processed and handled all at one time. And everything's weighed. And then after each offload of soiled textiles, to prevent contamination when we reload clean textiles, we'll use this truck sanitation station behind us to sanitize the vehicles. And again, that's the same disinfectant, the EPA registered disinfectant that we use facility-wide.
So you sanitize the inside of your vehicles
Correct.
also,
Yep.
correct?
Yes, the
Great.
cargo area on the vehicles.
Very good. So how do you identify what comes from where? I see there's only red and blue carts.
Sure. So each customer has load tickets, and then for a retail customer like an ambulatory surgery center, each individual bag will be tagged with a barcode, and that's registered to each customer, if you will. So once they get scanned in, it's an automated system. It'll show that we're working with ABC Surgery Center. And that's what's being processed.
And what are these things hanging over our head? Let's see if there are these blue bags.
Okay, so those are our retail bags. Again, that's what we would typically see in an ambulatory surgery center, and that's a fluid-resistant soiled linen bag. And those will move directly over to an individual sort station where all those items are sorted by customer. Sure.
So Caleb, tell me about these bags I'm seeing moving along that line. What are those?
So those are bulk soiled linen sling. So as items are sorted by textile type or classification, they're sorted into a larger sling, and those slings are what are injected into our continuous batch washer or our tunnel washer. And so that's so you can achieve weight per load for our batch washer.
Great. All right, take us to the next step.
Okay.
So what's this young man here doing?
So he is doing a retail customer soiled linen sort, and right now he's working on some healthcare scrubs. And again, all the scrubs are barcoded from each facility down to each individual wearer within a facility. So those get sorted and then processed in our small wash department.
And I see he is wearing protective equipment also.
He
That's
is,
great.
yeah. All of our employees operate under universal precautions. So that's our standard PPE garb that he's wearing right there.
Very good. The sharps, we talked about that earlier, so you do have a place for them to go. Are these picked up periodically
They are.
by a company?
We are, yeah. We have a third-party vendor, medical waste hauler, that handles all of our handling or disposal of our medical waste and sharps. So these get stored into a bigger bulk container, and then that's based on a monthly pickup from our provider.
Just like we have at our ASCs.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is the sorting area. Tell me about each one of these have a different bin. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so each station you can change, it's automated, so you can change by touch screen what linen type or what textile classification you're going to sort, and that way you're putting all the same items in the same flow.
Well, looky there. There looks like some scissors or hemostats in this sharps container. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Robin, we handle scissors specifically. We handle them as medical sharps as well. But for other medical instrumentation, we put that into a bag and then into a bulk container, and that's when we make that customer contact that you and I discussed earlier to notify them what was in the soiled linen.
Okay, that's really important. Then customers know that they will have goes back.
It absolutely is.
Great job. So you said something earlier about HIPAA. Tell me about those HIPAA laws, how they impact you.
Sure. So being a vendor or providing a service to the healthcare facility, kind of the regulatory component, we are kind of a partner in that aspect when it comes to the HIPAA laws. So if things like medical records or documentation are returned, that's kind of it's stop work immediately, collect that documentation, ensure it's confidential, and then notify our customer accordingly, and then we'll follow their protocols from there.
Well, good to know that there are processes in place for that. Hopefully that's not happening.
Absolutely.
Great. So tell us about this area we're in now.
Sure. So this is kind of our clean room, or our decontamination room. So we keep a supply of clean gloves, gowns, eye protection, etc. in here for our employees to use. So this is a cross-contamination measure that we take. So employees can come in here, put on their clean PPE, move out to their workstation, and then before re-entering, they'll want to take off all that soiled PPE and dispose of it properly.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is the automated cart washer, and this is the entrance side, and then we have the exit or the discharge side on the other end. If that's something we want to look at on the clean side as well.
So once a cart is emptied, it goes through this tunnel.
It does.
And is washed.
It does, and we do surface testing on our carts to ensure our chemical or our disinfectant is achieving appropriate levels to decontaminate.
So what type of washers are these?
So this is our small wash aisle that we're at now. So some of the cross-contamination measures we take in this area are anytime soiled textiles are loaded, the wash surface kind of around the entrance chute to the equipment is sanitized appropriately, so that when you unload that washer, you're not cross-contaminating textiles across a dirty surface.
What are the chances we might see a cake actually come out?
Oh, I think we can definitely see a cake. It'll
Pop out
spread
right here?
right there, kind of in that stainless box. It'll go onto that conveyor.
So all of this is the chemicals that you go through. Tell us about some of these chemicals.
Sure. So again, as we talked earlier in our conversation about individual processing formulas, and we have kind of standard chemicals. We touched earlier on the sour, which is again to bring that pH back down to human skin levels at kind of the end of the wash process. But the other ones are things like detergents, etc. And this is all operated on a automated chemical injection system. So all the formulas are pre-built for each textile type, and then as they go through the 12 pockets on this washer, each chemical will be injected appropriately through an automated system. So now it's going to discharge into a clean sling and carry it over to the automated dryer system.
That one over there, or
This one here?
right here?
It just discharges all that laundry down in there. Clean laundry.
Oh,
Kind of hard to see because the way the chute kind of sits in it.
So it goes. This is pretty amazing. This right here. Tell us where we're in the clean side.
We are. We're on the clean or finishing side of the laundry. We're standing right here at our garment tunnel exit. So all of our healthcare scrubs go in one end, and it's kind of the finishing station that kind of presses them out and prepares them for packaging and delivery to the customer.
Very good. Thank you.
So barcoded by customer location and then by individual wear, and these will be sorted in the system and go out on a specific delivery day so that they're ready for that customer to wear.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's great inventory management.
It is.
I see we have some curtains hanging here.
Sure.
And how do you protect the fire retardant properties of the curtains that's
Okay,
mounted in?
yeah, so that's similar to the individual textile classification we talked about earlier. and individual wash formulas. So that the cubicle curtains as well will have an individual wash formula to protect that fire retardancy.
Well, tell me about this area we're in now. I see some microfibers and some mop heads.
Yeah. So this is indeed our microfiber area. With things from mops to the flat items as well. Microfiber towels, scrubbers, etc. Are all going to be finished here and then stored and then packed out to go out to customer locations from this department.
So this lady has a really busy job. She's got a lot of gowns here. She is prepping them to go through a folder?
She is. Yes, this is the Chicago small piece folder. So she's going to try to make it consistent lay down every time so that there's a consistent fold and that quality that ends up out at the customer location.
What is this area we're in now, Caleb?
So this is our ironer area. These are a spreader, a sheet spreader right here that they're feeding, and those will feed into an ironer, and then they'll get your folds and your ironer press at the end.
Tell us about this area that we're in now.
Sure. So this is kind of our HAZCOM area, HAZCOM safety. We maintain a safety data sheet for every chemical that we have in the facility, and this is kind of that right to know, right to understand area for our employees if they need to access information on the specific chemical.
And it's in more than one language too.
It is. It is indeed.
Great. Is this where you store them?
Yeah. So like new goods, they'll come in here, they'll get barcoded, assigned to specific customers, and then they'll get injected into the wash or into the system, so they'll be processed prior to first delivery.
So I see these hand sanitizers throughout the facility. Do you have a hand hygiene program?
We do. So yeah, as you mentioned, Robin, we'll see hand sanitizers stations located throughout and then marked, and that's to promote that culture and awareness of continually cleansing your hands throughout the day. And again, that part of that goal is the patient safety at the end of the process.
Very good. And then going along with that, do you have a process for immunizations that are required?
We do.
Your flu shot?
We do. So we offer flu shots, annual flu shots as part of our employee wellness program. And then we also offer the hepatitis B vaccination series to all of our employees that would like it, regardless of job area or classification they work in, but specifically for those departments where there's some potential exposure to bloodborne pathogen.
What about those that drive the truck? Do they have the same opportunities?
They do. They do as well. So we have a whole list of positions company-wide or at each of our facilities that we've identified as even potential exposure. So things like maintenance technicians, where they may go into the soil room to work on a piece of equipment. We want to also offer them that same protection through the vaccination.